Nothing has launched its first CMF-branded phone, aptly named the CMF Phone 1. CMF is the brand name for a lineup of accessories, so what's the deal with Nothing's CMF phone? I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's find out in our full review. Like the recent Nothing Phone 2A, the CMF Phone 1 aims to bring a solid, value-based mid-range experience. Feature-wise, it appears well-rounded, without too many bells and whistles, except for one special thing, a modular design. You'll notice that the back has actual screws in it, and when you undo them, you can swap out the whole back of the phone. Nothing sells a few different backings for the CMF Phone 1. They're all flat and plastic, though a couple of them are covered with vegan leather. All of them are pretty straightforward, nothing flashy. CMF refers to it as an engineer's aesthetic. It's worth noting that while the back is removable, Nothing doesn't recommend swapping out the battery here, though it should be easier than on your typical smartphone. And there is still ingress protection here, rated at IP52 against dust and light splashes of water. It's no surprise that there are CMF-branded accessories available too. They attach via a circular element on the back called an accessory point. These include a card case, a lanyard, and a stand. The display of the phone is a 6.67-inch OLED with a 1080p resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. The screen is quite bright. We measured a maximum of over 700 nits with a manual slider, and this could boost to over 1250 nits in auto mode when needed. The refresh rate makes swiping and scrolling quite smooth, and is able to dial down from 120Hz to 60 when you stop interacting with it to save energy. And overall, the performance of the display is good. It's sharp and contrasty. There is no official HDR video support though. You don't get stereo speakers on this phone either, just a single bottom-firing one. The loudness is good, and the sound quality is okay-ish. Mids are clear and highs are decent, though there's not much for bass.
I'm wide awake, but you're a nightmare. I can't escape, I'm seeing you everywhere.
The phone does have an under-display fingerprint reader for biometrics, and we found it both snappy and accurate. You can get the CMF Phone 1 with 128 or 256 gigs of storage on board, though this would differ from market to market, and it is expandable through microSD. The Nothing CMF Phone 1 runs the latest version of Nothing OS, that's 2.6 at the time of this review, on top of Android 14. Features-wise, it's quite close to stock Android, but you get heavily customized aesthetics. Nothing's signature dot matrix font and overall aesthetics surrounding it permeate the UI. You can even turn the whole interface monochrome. There's interconnectivity and support for various Nothing earbuds through the Nothing X app. And for software support, the CMF Phone 1 will get 2 years of software updates and 3 years of security patches down the line. The chipset of the CMF Phone 1 is a MediaTek Dimensity 7300, which has demonstrated great power efficiency in other devices we've seen it in. When it comes to benchmark scores, the CMF Phone 1 does a decent job, lining up with other phones in this price bracket. It won't blow anyone away, and this isn't a device for a lot of heavy gaming, but it's enough for running your everyday tasks smoothly, and light to moderate intensity games are no problem. The CMF Phone 1 is great when it comes to thermal management too. It went through our prolonged stress test without major throttling, and the phone never got hot either. I mentioned that the silicon here is power efficient, and with the 5000 mAh battery on board, the CMF Phone 1 earned one of the best battery life scores around. That's a total active use score of 16 hours and 13 minutes in our tests. There's support for 33-watt charging here, but there's no charger bundled with the phone. A proper charger was able to bring the phone from 0 to 50% in half an hour, and a full charge took an hour and 21 minutes. The camera setup of the Nothing CMF Phone 1 is rather simple. On the back, there's just a 50-megapixel main cam, plus a depth sensor. The main camera produces 12.5-megapixel photos due to pixel binning. Those taken during the day are solid, with natural-looking colors, good contrast and dynamic range, and natural detail rendition. However, if you examine them closely, the photos could stand to be sharper. Portrait shots are quite decent. The main camera handles human subjects quite well, and skin tones look great. The subject detection and separation can sometimes make mistakes though. Here's a look at 2x digital zoom. It's no substitute for a proper telephoto cam. photos come out soft and fuzzy. At night, the main camera holds up pretty well. There's plenty of detail, the noise is low, and colors look nice and natural. Sharpness is again not very high, but contrast is good, and both darker areas and highlights are well developed. 4K videos from the main camera look pretty good. The colors are natural, and the dynamic range is wide. We do wish there was a bit more fine detail though. As far as stabilization goes, the main cam lacks OIS, and there's no electronic stabilization when recording in 4K. You can enable something called action mode, which is in 1080p, but it's not too smooth because of focus hunting. Low light videos from the main camera are okay, with plenty of detail. There is some noise though, and light sources can occasionally be blown out. And finally, selfies shot with a 16 megapixel front-facing cam are just alright. They're not that sharp, and the dynamic range is a bit limited. Facial features and colors look nice though. So that's the Nothing CMF Phone 1. For around $200 you get a pretty well-rounded mid-ranger with excellent battery life, and the customizable design really helps this phone stand out. Plus, besides swapping out the backs and accessories, we suspect this phone could be easier to repair as well. There are some shortcomings here. There's only a single speaker, no NFC, and no charger in the box. If these don't bother you though, then the Nothing CMF Phone 1 is a phone worth checking out. Thanks for watching guys. If you're looking for alternatives, you can check out the Samsung Galaxy A35 and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.